That ain't no bug.
And you're too...
They couldn't make this today. Quite literally, because it's a PlayStation Portable game. The game was made at a time when portable gaming was in vogue, and before it got dual analog sticks. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Daxter was originally a game for the PlayStation Portable, and meant as a side story and prequel to Jak 2. Did it age well?
Oh, yeah.
Is it fun?
Let's see what's on the
Is it
tube
funny?
tonight.
Should you buy it? Let's
Boring,
find out.
boring.
What is Daxter? A rat? A Rizzler? A violator of OSHA safety standards? All of the above. He is half of the Jak and Daxter duo, usually relegated to comic relief sidekick and home on the PlayStation 2. But this is his story. It centers around him trying to save his best friend Jak. So, like the sidekick he is, they shunted the game onto the PlayStation's only loved portable sidekick. And spoilers ahead. So, Daxter's neurodivergent mute friend gets arrested by this game's world version of the feds for MKUltra experiments. Daxter was able to escape and finds himself in Haven City, alone and afraid, barely knowing the language. So, where does he go? The bar, of course. Trauma dumps to the local drunks, only for one of those drunks to overhear his, epics and slurred English.
Yes, sir. Suddenly they came at me from the left, so I moved to the right with a chop and a kick and a...
And offers him a job, suitable for anyone fresh off the boat. One that includes handling toxic chemicals and killing bugs. The kind of jobs the people of Haven City literally didn't want to do.
I can't do this anymore. It's too dangerous.
But please, don't leave now.
Forget it! Find another crazy sucker, okay?
Buddy, I don't know nothing about exterminating, and I hate bugs. Although, I could always fake it.
Hey, what? You take it.
Daxter is mi hermano, a real man of the people. He works under the table, frequents construction sites. He also dodges the feds.
Get a load of this place.
And his first job was at a hotel. For God's sake, he really is fresh off the boat. For your first job, you learn about some of the gameplay basics. Firstly, how to use your bug zapper / baton thing. It has a wide arc, and it doesn't control precisely at all. However, it's saved by the wide swing arc and magnetism. It only falls apart when you're climbing or crawling, and you swing in a straight line. You usually crawl during climbing and stealth sections. The stealth is very minute in this game. It's used to pass a few NPCs, and it doesn't last more than 30 seconds at most. So the first job was pretty easy, minus the man-eating bugs. In this mission, and basically the whole game, you have to eliminate a certain number of bugs and collect their skull gems. So where does our immigrant friend go next in this sci-fi city? A construction site, of course. The first of many construction site missions in the game. You're also given a spray gun, which serves as Daxter's main ranged attack, and at first it only stuns. So not only do we work on dangerous construction sites, but we also handle poisonous chemicals. I'm not sure how to feel about the people of this city. On one hand, they don't report us to the immigration authorities for MKUltra experiments. On the other, they have us handling poison and fighting man-sized bugs to the death. I have a feeling this won't be the only odd job we take on in this city. Oh, I was wrong. The next mission was outside the city, including flying what is an old-timey crop duster to destroy some bug nests. I always loved that about this franchise. There is tech that is both rustic and advanced, like Star Wars. It's always charming to fly something that's barely holding itself together, usually right out of someone's garage. And who better than the guy without papers to fly the faulty farm equipment, of course. After this, Your new boss gives you a little ride to get around town. I call it the Pimpmobile. I wonder why Taryn wasn't into Daxter after watching him pull up on that.
Dry your tears, gorgeous. I have returned.
It also gets its own mission and time to shine, but that's later. The world itself isn't very big. You have just 2 city sections, this downtown area and the port. So Daxter is called to the bar to pay off his drinking debts. On the way, Taryn gives us our first upgrade for the spray. It gives the spray a hover function and opens up the level.
Oh, I can handle the pressure, baby. Ah!
I actually hadn't thought of that.
So after a little flirting with the barmaid, we head down and spray a whole shitload of poison into the drinking supply. Maybe Daxter was already working for Crew. That's Crew with a K, by the way. You don't have any competitors if you poisoned all of them. You see, that's big brain chess move. And at the end of the mission, you run into perhaps the most annoying thing about this game, the rhythm minigame, which is something that this game falls back on quite a bit. Not long after this job, we are reminded of the real plot.
Jack, that's it!
After a brief but frustrating chase, the criminal mastermind Daxter almost pays for his various crimes and is about to get blackbagged. Until our layabout stoner friend picks us up. But why? So we can do a job he doesn't want to do.
I hadn't heard from you for a while, so I tracked you down pronto with the radio. It's a good thing, too. We got a Mondo job brewing right now on a big tanker in the port. You ready to party hard?
Typical privileged Haven City citizen behavior. Get all the immigrants to do the work you didn't want to do. So we do the job and get a new friend. I hope nothing bad happens to him.
A little, thorax, or whatever it is. You know, I've always wanted my very own sidekick.
Later on, you get a flamethrower upgrade for your sprayer from this lady. God, I love her. It's like that meme of toxic women. Just slide in the Jack and Daxter characters and it's basically me. Yeah, the game couldn't be made today. It just would not be the same. Also, holy shit, a flamethrower, cool. But damn, we pulling out the war crimes on these bugs. Haven City needs to get its shit together. So obviously, we immediately get an ice level in old platformer fashion to emphasize that the flamethrower is not just indeed cool. And also so that the flamethrower can have a tutorial, afterward becoming one of the many tools we alternate between. You also use it on a few platforms later on, and it provides enhanced hovering.
Hey, wait. You know Bug?
So this job is working for the Haven City immigrant community, cleaning out a meatpacking facility by spraying fire and poison all over everything, also dodging killer sharks. There is no OSHA in this city. As we previously discussed, Haven City is a shithole. After that, Daxter takes a relaxing trip to the lake to fish with his stoner friend. Ah yes, when I need to deal with a hornet hive, I just chuck handfuls of TNT at it from a moving car. Very relaxing.
Oh yeah, dude! That was Supremo Radical!
Then we are off to another construction site. After a little more workplace harassment.
If we keep meeting like this, people will start to talk.
If we don't stop this metal bug infestation, there won't be any people left.
No problem. Then it'd just be you and me, baby. Starting civilization all over again.
Oh, it's not in the cards, Fuzzball.
We also get a new upgrade, a fucking grenade launcher. Jesus Christ, what the hell are we fighting? The Tyranids? Yeah. Actually, we are. turns out Daxter was cut out for the Helldivers. And it turned out that the Hornet from earlier held a grudge, and needed to be sent back to Hell a little bit harder.
Going down, buggo!
Daxter.
You know this game is a bit all over the place. One moment we're flying hover cars, the next we're manning a turret, lobbing grenades from moving vehicles, and surely things won't escalate from here. So, obviously, Daxter accidentally commits an act of domestic terrorism on the feds, disrupting vital fuel supplies. So basically, Daxter accidentally joins the IRA. Wait, no, they do that in Jak 2, actually. Holy shit. How does Daxter sleep at night? Well, apparently it's quite violent, but in all movie references. On one hand, the dreams are fun. On the other hand, he's always fighting in them. Perhaps it's the PTSD from all the things he's done. The war never ends. This part of the game is largely optional. However, for completing it once, you get a new melee move, of varying usefulness. And all of the dreams are fun references, however, it's a one and done for me. Thanks. It's a pattern matching game, and it gets faster to the point where you would need to be able to press a button twice at the same time. What the hell? Also, there are a few of these throughout the game. It's used as a crutch, so I'm not looking for more of it. After a brief battle with his inner demons, Daxter with his stoner friend plan out their latest terror attack, targeting the president's palace. After some good old-fashioned slapstick subterfuge, we're inside. I know I described the game very seriously, but these guys are stormtroopers and cartoon villains. That's what lets Daxter's terror acts keep getting that E rating. What was I talking about? Yeah, the plot. So the government visits our place of work, and frustrated after our red pill-based boss's unwillingness to give up our Hermano Daxter, and a little bit of police brutality.
There are bugs even in your own establishment.
You bastard. They do the only reasonable thing. Blow up the fucking business with the old guy still in it. The government in this game will literally blow up places of businesses with old dudes and immigrants inside them at any moment. I think I'm starting to agree with the resistance in this game. But that's for Jak 2. So we chase down this government goon and kick him in his ghoulies. The fight would be a lot more frustrating at this moment if it were not for the emulator layer's rewind function, which trivialized the fight. However, the checkpoints in this game are inconsistent and sometimes very far apart, so it's a necessary fix. After the big boss spoils Jak 2 for us,
no matter what happens, my master will be waiting for you and Jak outside.
he dies. And this story ends where it began, in a bar. It's kind of poetic. So, about Terran. Firstly, what the hell kind of name is that? So anyways, Daxter just cucks her at the end of the game, but she's into it? Perhaps he's building a harem?
I'd use it to build a giant palace. A palace with the biggest harem of women the world has ever known.
Yeah, I forgot about that cutscene. Yeah, this game definitely couldn't be made today, and we never see her or the old guy again anyways. A hot take, Daxter didn't age all that well. But it's still fun to play despite it. The writing and clever design elevate it. However, the effort put into making it work on controller was minimal. The Lost Frontier also received similar treatment, which is a shame because the game was actually fun. Lots of weapons in this game compensate for the limitations. So overall it works, just not as well as the other games in the series do because they were originally designed for a controller with 2 analog sticks. It's also a very curious piece of media history. in a time when gaming wasn't as performatively woke, especially Naughty Dog recently. Is Daxter red-pilled, or is he stuck in the Matrix? He is an immigrant who works, at times, for other immigrants and the white man. However, he openly ogles women, evades taxes, and blows up government buildings. So yes, he's truly red-pilled and based. Also, while it's not explicitly mentioned, presumably, when we have Bugs fight, we do it as Daxter. So he runs an unregulated enterprise fighting very dangerous abominations, presumably for profit. More based and red-pilled behavior. As for the bug fighting itself, it's just a minigame dice roll that alternates between range, melee, and shield moves. The game will roll one per round for your opponent, and it feels as random as it sounds. You can add enhancements, but they don't change the actual gameplay much. This is why I question the viability of a modern Jak and Daxter game. Would it have the same humor? Would the writers even desire to put that in? A modern Jak game would be very different humor-wise from the originals, and not for the better. It's a product of its time. It's edgy, emo time, George Bush and all. As for post-secrets, there are a few, trivia and concept art. However, there are a variety of links to a bunch of defunct websites, so that's also a shame. It was the early years of game internet promotion, probably cool for the time. However, for the future people like us, they should have just loaded it onto the game as additional features or side content as presented, like soundtracks or art books and special editions. And it bears to mention that the game is just $10 if you haven't bought it yet. It's worth it, just don't go in expecting an optimized experience. It's a bit rough and offensive to modern sensibilities, but I think that makes it more interesting as a product. It's from a different time, and crafted by different norms. I'm an advocate for game preservation, and this is in part why. We get to see these time capsules of culture. Also, it's pretty funny to me, so take that as you will. And yes, there is a huge helping of nostalgia there for me too. I hope you enjoyed this slightly different take on reviews. Tell me what you think in the comments. Please like and subscribe. Both very wonderful and helpful things. I hope to see you next time. Bye.